Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Arrow Slingers on YouTube. We are rolling through the videos now. So, what I wanted to talk about today, a lot of discussion I have with friends, I hear all the time from other people, is about getting accustomed to your board and your setup. Now, there's many simple ways to fix that or to try and negate that, and it's not necessarily going to fix it instantly. And as I said, anything I give advice on, take with a grain of salt, because I'm not a pro and I don't claim to be, but I like to think about the game of darts and any sport really, but yeah, a lot about the game of darts. So there's a few ideas here to try and help negate that. So now you wouldn't, when you rock up to a venue to play a big tournament and there might be 6 or 7 boards set up, they're all going to be very similar. They're all going to be one board there, one board there, one board there, probably identical. That's how they set it up. If you're in a team and you go to one pub for a night, you're at that pub for the night on that board. So I wouldn't recommend, you don't need to change your position, your setup, your system every 10 minutes. You could if you want to, but every day or every training session, I split my training up throughout the day because I have a kid. So I think the other day I did an hour and a half all up. But it was sporadic. It was 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then half an hour, then 20 minutes, things like that. You could change at that regular interval, but I would stick to each day you're at the same spot and then make a change. So we'll go through a couple of small changes and a couple of big changes you can do to help get that in you, get that mental block or whatever you want to call it of your board against another board. Try and get rid of that. So one thing about darts, the physical aspect of darts does not change. So let me move this out of the way so I can tell you what I'm talking about. The height of the dartboard, that's a rule. That doesn't change. The distance to the oche here from where you throw from, let me change it again, which is here. That does not change, all right? You cannot go somewhere, just so you're aware, bam, right in the kisser. Wherever you're playing, so those aspects don't change. You're not going to go to play a competitive game of darts anywhere that's semi-governed, even a tiny bit under rules and run by someone or something. They're not going to have buildings, boxes, stuff in the way. You may get, if you're at a pub, you may get a cabinet. That's about it. Everything else is going to be, as you can see here, one physical change you may get, I'll show you here. I use an oche. So I bring my foot to here. I actually go sideways, but you can see what I mean. I can look at my target and push my foot against there. So I don't even have to look where my foot's going. Some places you'll go, where are you? There. Some places you'll go might have that, or they might have a line. But I'll show you a way to get around that soon. So that's the only real physical change I can think of that's actually there. The physicality of everything else is the same. So the rest of what's going on is all in your head. So the very first change you can do, and we're now going to put you onto the cameras in front of my dartboard. So I'm going to send you back to the beach for a second while we set that up. Have a throw at the beach. All right, move you around. Try and get that in the right spot, that'll do. Okay, so the first change you can do, let me come in. I'm wearing headphones, I'm using these as a microphone. Throw some tunes on. As I said, it's all mental, it's not physical, it's a mental thing. So having some music going through your head, that's a mental change that you can do. And then throw your darts. These aren't my normal darts, but that's no excuse because I'm throwing horrendously lately, like really poorly. So get that music pumping through your headphones. If you need to have it, you can have buds or headphones or whatever you want. That's a 26, my goodness. This has just been horrific. And so that is probably one of the simplest things. Although a lot of what I'm going to show you is pretty simple. In the threes. Change number 2. You ready for it? I'll get on the shot. It looks like a completely different board. That's change number 2. Instead of having a red surround, I've now got a blank board around. And my mind is sitting here trying to focus solely on the dartboard and not on anything else. And that's what you've got to do. Your mind has to focus on the dartboard and nothing else. It's a very, very difficult thing to do because there is a lot of other stuff in our eyesight when we go to throw. Especially me, because I'm committed to what I do to video and recording. So this light bar, as you can see, that's almost in my line of sight. And if I have a bad dart at double 11, I'm probably going to hit it, or even double 8. So another really simple change you can do. And very shortly, we're going to have a few more changes. And a lot of the changes so far that we're talking about are absolutely cost effective. Sorry that you aren't in shot at the moment. I'm trying to set the next bit up for you. So, bam, this is the next change. This is the Winmau Extreme dartboard stand. I purchased this to take away with me on holidays because who doesn't love to play darts on holidays? I actually have, you would have seen in a different video, this is my Blade 5. It's now set up here. This is the first time I've done this and completely changed where I'm throwing from. And it's tough. I've done a practice, I did a video before, but it failed. I'm now doing it again. It's really difficult to change so much. So imagine going from still your own home to another location. So I've got to adjust to this, and I've got to adjust to the small changes that I've just made, regardless of how it is. But let's have a go. You're only going to see the darts coming, but I'll keep talking to you. Now this was $269, this stand. I'll do a full video on it because I do quite like it. But not every change you do has to be that extravagant. As this is the only one that's expensive. I have a second dartboard, so you don't have to spend $200+ on a dartboard. The stands you can get for cheaper than $200. I think Shot have one for $200. There's a Mission one for about $160 or something like that. They all have 3 legs. This one has 4. It has a shelf. It's very good. I'll do a proper video on it another day. And then your dartboard, as I said, you could spend $80 and get a decent dartboard, or you just move the one that you have. It's not as simple as the next idea that I have, the next and final idea that I have. Now the triple one again. Shocking. See, this is all these darts I've thrown now have been shocking because I'm just changing everything so rapidly and my mind cannot settle. So we do have one more final change. So come with me. Go around here. This is dead set the simplest one. And as you can see my setup there, I'll do a proper video on my setup as well. That is a bit of ply or MDF on the front of some industrial epoxy shelving. That's what I'm rolling with as my dartboard setup. So if I zoom you out so you can see my head, the last one, this, I'll just check to make sure you can see that. That is simply the clip that your dartboard goes on the back of. Most people, if you've bought more than one dartboard in your life, you're going to have one of these around. You can buy these. that probably cost you about $2. What you can do is just set that up elsewhere in your house. Moving a dartboard is as simple as this. Take your darts out. Bam. Your dartboard's out. This is somewhere else. You put it on. Easy. That won't go back on now because I'll let the arms are out. So that's what, 1, 2, that's probably 5 different things you can do that we've just gone through to try and get yourself adjusted to the space that you're in. The differences of surrounds, noise level, what you're looking at, what you're taking in. It all changes wherever you go. In an ideal world, we all have a gigantic blank wall wherever we're playing, whatever the location, and there's either no sound or there's a humming sound of people that you might get when you're in the PDC if that's what the level you're aiming for. But we can't do that. We can't all have just a big blank wall. That's my ideal setup, to be honest, is a big blank wall with nothing else to look at besides your dartboard. There's no dartboard there, but you know what I mean? But it's all in your head. There's very little physical change. As I said, the only physical change I will get from the competition I played in to now is that oche that I spoke about where I put my foot. They all have lines, so you've got to check where you're standing and then throw. Mine, I just get to look, put my foot and throw, because a lot of the not upper level, but a lot of the people that take it more seriously will say, we'll have an oche marker, timber bit of wood or whole raised oche, something along those lines they'll have, especially up here in Queensland, because they take it very seriously. The darts up here, they're all at a high level. They love it. So there's a lot of good quality darting areas, the darting rooms and locations that have it. So, as I said, that's the one physical change. The rest is mental, but there are many mental changes. As I said, someone might come up to my dartboard and go, how on earth do you play with that anywhere in your sight? I may go to someone else's place who have a dartboard cabinet, and I can't think of anything worse than having a dartboard cabinet. Not in a million years. You will never see me with a dartboard cabinet. I cannot imagine it. But some people love it, and some people use it. The built-in round things, not for me. Flat, give me a flat wall, give me a surround. All this sort of stuff works for me because I can actually have this, and the camera will still work well. I can put that right out the way. And then when I'm standing there, it won't be in my line of sight or nowhere near it. You will still be there, but it won't be there. If I want a better angle, I move that in, and it may be in the way of double A. It may be in the way of double 11. Massive change. As I said before, we'll run over here, and I'll come back to you. That, to me, is a big mental change, especially with mine being so dirty and in such bad condition. That is a big mental change. There's a lot of things that are different, a lot of things that you can work, a lot of things you can do in your own place. But as I said, don't underestimate the power of this thing. As I'm in a rental, I've been able to whip that up. I can easily put, I've got 6 shelves that I can easily put one of these up. Guarantee I can find another wall somewhere that I can put this up. I can put it up anywhere and just fix the holes when I go. Not the holes in the wall, because I probably wouldn't hit it, especially if I use the surround, only if the kids play on it. But now I've got that board there and that board there. I'll use both quite regularly, and we'll see what happens. I'll put this into practice. Hopefully soon I'll go and play elsewhere other than online and in my home and see how it goes. I'll put my own methods into practice. But have a go, change it up. Don't do it during each session. Do it session to session. Even if you want to do 3 sessions back to back, then change, do 3 sessions. I would recommend doing each session, but it would be entirely up to you. See how you go. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I think it's a bell. That's what I hear on all other people's YouTubes. And let's get in touch. Let's have a chat. Let's figure some shit out. Let's get everyone in the world up to an MVG level of darts and enjoy it. So soon we'll do, I'm not going to do any tutorials on how to throw a dart because I honestly am shocking at the moment. There's a lot of work to be done on that, but there's some other fun stuff we can do. But yeah, stay tuned. Catch up with the next episode and see you later, guys.